Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Our current session is about examples of non-standard language from English. I hope and expect by the end of this session, with the help of some examples, you would be able to understand the use and usage of non-standard English language. Well, my dear students, when we try to define non-standard English, in fact, it refers to the use of English, especially with reference to the grammar or the grammatical structures, that is syntax, but not limited to that, including other aspects such as pronunciation, such as vocabulary, etc., that is considered conventionally to be substandard or to be improper. That is considered to be not proper. To help you understand what does it mean when we talk of non-standard English and what can be the common examples of that, I would share some examples with you. For example, when it comes to the English language, the verb to be is a very complex form that is used in standard English, but some non-standard languages try to attempt to regularize it. For example, if you look at the screen, you can see we was. We was is used in place of we were. For example, we was robbed. Another example you can see on the screen is if I was you. Instead of if I were you is used in place of I were you. Another example that here you can see on the screen is they was waiting for us instead of they were waiting for us. Sometimes abbreviated forms are used very frequently in non-standard English. For example, in the purple color here, you can see the use of word ain't. I ain't happy with this. I am not happy with this. They ain't here, they are not here. So it is used in a variety of ways. In it, this given in purple is an abbreviated form that is used for isn't it. For example, it's really cold here. Isn't it means isn't it. Another example is of I be that is used in place of I am. And in many regional dialects of English language, we find this usage. Another important example is of gotten. In fact, this has come into British English from American English vocabulary, because in American English, the third form of the verb got is used as gotten, but in British English, this is used as a non-standard form. And instead of saying I got that or I have got that, the choice of gotten, for example, I have gotten that, is used in a non-standard usage. Oxford A to Z of English usage points out, this dictionary points out, it claims that even there it is often regarded as non-standard form, while the American Merriam-Webster dictionary, if you look at it in that dictionary, you would find that they have placed it under a category that is of regular or standard language. So, this is how culturally the choice of, the form differs. Well, my dear students, I would show you some slides and I would show you some further examples of how, in different non-standard usage, different items of English, are used. Well, my dear students, if you look at the slide, what you would notice is at the top of it here, I have marked it as morphology. So, this slide particularly shows the morphological variations that are used in non-standard English. First example that I'm going to share with you is of unmarked adverbs. If you look at the sentence, he is awfully busy these days. Instead of awfully, awful is used. The deletion of final, this E in this adverb, is a non-standard usage. Otherwise, we do not find this awful used as an adverb in this way. It is used as he is awfully busy. Here, this ly part is omitted. With this, we come to the second example. In the second example, we find unmarked plurals after the numeral. Notice, the example, It cost £5. After the numeral 5, when pound is used, it should be in plural using S. But this S is missing here. And this is again a non-standard usage. The third example that I would share is of zero marking of plurals, often with numerals. Again, I would like you to look at the example. He's been here 5 years now. He's been here, again with the numeral 5. When year is used, the plural marker S is missing in this case. So these are all the examples of the non-standard usage of English, particularly from morphology. Now, in this slide, what you would see is examples from syntax. Well, my dear students, if you focus on the first example, non-standard verbal concord is found. What is that? The boys wants. With plural boys, we would always in standard English use want. But in this non-standard variety, wants is used. Example number 2, narrative present with generalized S. For example, I hops out of the car and finds it. With the first person pronoun I, this use of S in hops and this use of S in finds, show this generalized use of S where, it is used with all the forms. It does not happen, by the way, in the standard English. In the third example, additional aspectual distinctions such as the habitual ones are made. He does be working all night. He does be working. He has been working, should have been used in standard language. Number 4, resultative perfect with participle after object. He has the book read. He has read the book. This is how it should be. Then the use of prefixing for the continuous. For example, they were affixing the car. Instead of they were fixing the car, affixing is used. Negative concord is used in number 6. For example, they don't do nothing for nobody. This use of don't do nothing. This double use of negative does not happen. It does not take place in standard English language. Number 7, range of the continuous form. She's knowing lots of foreigners. She knows lots of foreigners is the regular standard English structure. She's knowing is not used. Greater range of present tense. I know him since 10 years at least. The greater range of present tense. I know him, use of present tense with since 10 years at least. In number 9, double modals. He might could come this evening. Either it should be he might come this evening or it should be he could come this evening. We cannot make both of these choices in standard English in one sentence. And number 10, use of for with infinitives of purpose. For example, he went out for to get milk. He went out to get milk is the standard form. Well, my dear students, when it comes to the use of non-standard English forms, there are a lot of slangs as well that are used in non-standard form. For example, mon instead of come on, cop instead of policeman, cause because, kappa for cup of tea, don't or doesn't, for doesn't. He don't love me instead of he doesn't love me. Dunno, don't know. Other examples are gimme, which stands for give me. For example, gimme my bag, which means give me my bag. Kinda instead of kind of. It's kinda disappointment. It's kind of disappointment. Lemme for let me. Let me see that book. Let me see that book. Lil for little. He's got a nice little house in the country. Nice little house in the country. So, there are a lot of slangs that are used in different forms in the non-standard English usage.